Welcome back to The Inspired Entrepreneur with Heather Hope. Hey everyone, it's Heather Hope back with another episode. So today is September 16th. It is the year 2020, I believe. But anyway, if you are coming back for another episode, welcome back. I'm so glad that you are here. If you follow me over on Facebook, let me know that you're listening to these podcasts, or on YouTube. So I appreciate all the comments on YouTube. So thank you so much. So if you're new here, welcome to the Inspired Entrepreneur podcast with me. That was just lame. I am a law of attraction business coach, mentor, teacher, inspirational writer, and speaker. And I have to tell you, I think I told somebody, I did say it in the comment section on some video previously, that I did get the book done. It's not totally done, but I have 366 days of inspiration for entrepreneurs. So it's a daily book for you to have on your desk. Now, okay, I should just take a poll, even though I don't know if I want to, but I was going to have it published. So I'm publishing it for right now. It's going to get published by a major publisher in the future. But for right now, I had planned on doing the regular book, like a regular, like 5.5 by 8.5, like half a sheet of paper, with what they call perfect binding, which is like basically most books that you read, like soft cover. But a couple days ago, I had thought of spiral bound. Not many people do spiral anymore. I do believe it costs more, like by like $5 more, which is a lot more. But I kind of thought spiral because it's so easy to keep the page open, right? So the idea is that you'll have this book on your desk and you just flip to the next page. It's not a calendar, but it's a book. And you flip to the page of the day that it is, and there's your little bit of inspiration. Now, a lot of these, some of them are like one sentence long, that you can tell from these podcasts, but there are a few that are a few paragraphs. So when I get to the editing, that's going to be fun, or formatting. But so I thought, hey, spiral is kind of a cool idea. And then I started looking into it. I'm like, Anyhow, let me know what you think. If you care, or you'll just close the book back up and keep it on your desk. And the thing with the book is, so there's been a few times that I have read through a few days and I was like, wow, this is really good. This is like really good. Not to sound like, you know what I mean? But because, a lot of times I don't remember what I've written. And I just write pretty much daily, just really short things that come to my mind. And so I forget a lot of the stuff that I've written. I go back and I'm like, wow. I used to do that in college when I would go back and read a little bit of research papers I turned in. I'm like, wow, I don't remember writing any of that. And I didn't think that was that good. So anyhow, so there's been 2 or 3 times that I've gone back into my Word document and I read a few pages and I'm like, this is really good. And it was helpful in that moment for me. And I just love the law of attraction. I love Abraham Hicks. I love Sanaya Roman. I love Bashar. I love all of these infinite intelligence, right? And that's where I get my inspiration from, is infinite intelligence, from source. Everything is from source. And, it's really, it's been a really interesting process of filling in. I had to fill in about 100 of these days, at least, that I hadn't written yet. And I would read from, I love the book Creating Money by Sanaya Roman. She is another person just like Esther Hicks. If a lot of people that I know in this community love that book. And I'm very new to all of this. I'm only in this like a couple of years now. But it is the money Bible, in my opinion, for for really, getting a grasp on money mindset according to Source, according to Infinite Intelligence. Anyway, so I love this book, and I would just read a little bit, and something would come to my mind, like another thought, and it was not related to what I was reading. So I'm not like reading this book and copying it. That's not what I'm doing. I read it for inspiration, but it's so amazing because it's all vibration that I could be reading through a couple of pages and then I get like a different thought and I write it down. And I look at it, I'm like, this has nothing to do with what I just read. And it's like really a strange thing for me. But anyway, the book is done. I'm going to write the beginning stuff and then send it over to my editor. So I'm excited. I got that done yesterday morning during my morning mindset stuff. I was like, I want to get this done today. And I did. I got through 50 days, something like that, 50 days yesterday, or 40 days yesterday morning. Anyway, so this podcast is all about, it's a daily podcast that goes through the book, The Inspired Entrepreneur. So let's just jump right into it. 6 minutes in already. So, one thing something I really love. I just love this universe we live in. It's just so amazing that I can flip to the day it is. I did it right before I jumped on this recording. That I'm like, wow, this has everything to do with my morning this morning. This particular. So I'm recording this September 15th. So I record a couple episodes at a time for the most part in between all the other stuff I'm doing. So I'm recording, a day in advance right now for this one. So I flipped to it September 16th and here it is. As you open to love, you will experience a more beautiful world around you. I kind of remember the day that I wrote that. Everything's written like pretty much the moment that I think about it. Like I don't spend any time at all editing or thinking about a concept or writing anything. I don't think anything. It goes right to Facebook. That's where my book is right on Facebook. So I kind of remember writing this. As you open to love, you will experience a more beautiful world around you. I think it was last month. Let me read you what my morning was like today. I'm going to flip over to Facebook. I try to keep Facebook closed so we don't get any ding-a-dings. I tell my husband, I'm like, okay, so I'm going to go in. I'm going to do 2 episodes. And he's like, so that means I need to like pound on the door and get the dog barking and all that stuff. I'm like, no, you need to not do any of that stuff. Okay, so I'm going to read what I wrote this morning. If you read it, let me know. If you follow me on Facebook, that'd be awesome. Once you wake up in the morning, before getting up, lay there for a few minutes. Start saying in your head all the things you love, everything you can think of. I love my bed. I love my pillows. I love my husband. I love my puppy. I love my home. I love comfortable beds. I love cool weather, and so on. Soon you will find yourself in a really wonderful mood, happy as can be. Start your day like that and watch what you attract. You guys, I can't even write this. So I did this 8:30 this morning. I wrote this post 8:30 this morning, and I woke up at like 7. This is exactly what I did this morning. This is why I wrote it. Okay, so continuation on this is I have had a fantastic day from starting my day like this. I start my day in various different ways, various different things I think about when I first wake up. But this morning, as soon as I woke up, I was thinking of just appreciation. Now, Abraham talks about, the vibrational difference between gratefulness and appreciation. And they're just not too keen on gratefulness because it's that vibration that comes from coming from a lackful place to, like, I'm grateful that I have this house. I'm so grateful I have this house. Feels like I'm so glad that I got out of my crappy apartment and I'm in this house. That's basically what happened before, but at one point. But appreciation is, let's just skip all the crap from the past because we don't need any of that. I'm tired of hearing people talk about it. If you don't know, I was a psychotherapist for 12 years, I believe it is, a licensed psychotherapist. I worked on 2 doctorate programs. One was a PhD in clinical psychology, and one was what the hell was it? Sorry. A doctor of behavioral health in mind-body psychology. Worked on both of them in the past. I have a master's degree in counseling, bachelor's degree in psychology. So I came from a whole 20-year career of psychology. And I will tell you right now that I was a freaking mess, and so were my clients. And my clients were not a mess because I was a mess, but we were all a mess because it's vibration. We were just a mess. That is a hard job to do. I loved it, though. I loved it because I was around other people that were a mess. Just kidding. Not kidding, but anyway. So let's just skip all the past, because one of the key concepts that I learned, I remember being on the highway when I heard it, and I'm like, I will never forget this moment. When I heard Abraham say that your inner being never looks back, it doesn't have that memory. So whatever you introduce into this very moment is where you're setting your vibration, is where your attraction point is. So the past literally has no meaning at all unless you make it have a meaning. Does that make sense? It's so freaking mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing. We got to get back to the topic, but it is life-changing. It is absolutely one of the best concepts that I learned from Abraham. One of the best. It was life-changing in my business when I learned this last year. Because this is what happens. And this is why I had to leave all the groups and like leave all the coaches and everybody and just be on my own, because nobody's got this right. I have not found a single person who works like this. So so I don't need one. So, and this is, okay, so I'm about to launch another course, and God, my last launch was not good. Like, nobody bought anything my last launch. It failed. And I'm so afraid that my next launch is going to be the same way. This was me last year. And this is like nearly every coach out there. And I know coaches that are all into spirituality and law of attraction, all that stuff, and they still freaking do this. So I'm like, you just still don't understand the law of attraction. You have to understand it to really reap this massive reward. So as I sit here saying, okay, so I'm launching another course, I'm getting ready for it, but the last time nobody bought. And I remember it sucked. It sucked so bad to go through all of that work and nobody bought it. It really sucked. I don't know. It's just blah, 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 right? Tell me if that is relatable, because it is. I know it is. But you can do it. If you're not a coach, doesn't matter. If you're a real estate agent, you're like, God, my last one fell through. I hope this one doesn't fall through. Oh my God, I'm so nervous that all my deals are going to fall through. This is a really funky market right now, and people are freaking out, and I don't know. Feel that energy and that attraction point, right? You got to stop doing that. So I think tomorrow, whatever day it is, I'm going to release, I wrote the 7 things that you must stop doing today in your business what the hell is it called? Sorry. I redid some of the attractiveness of it because I wrote it like a couple months ago, actually, and I just didn't do anything with it yet. But this morning I woke up, and we'll get back to that. We have to get back to the actual quote from today. So It's going to be released probably today. I think. I don't know. I have errands to do tomorrow. So, anyway, it's called The 7 Things You Must Stop Doing Today to Grow Your Business with the Law of Attraction. 7 things. So, I narrowed it down to 7 things because there's like a million things you got to stop doing. I mean, not to like overwhelm you. It's, let me give you a hint, it's mindset. It's all mindset. All of it. All 7 things are mindset. I'm a mindset coach through and through and through and through. I'm not a, what's it called? A coach who tells you what to do in your business. What the hell? Why am I swearing today? What is it called? Strategy. I'm not a strategy coach. Not at all. I can tell you like all my clients in my academy, I show them everything I do. Anything that I do in my business, I show them and teach them if they're interested in knowing about it, just because I like teaching that. But with the caveat that if you feel really inspired to take any of these things that I do, because they've been super successful for me, if they really feel fun to you and you really want to try it, do it. If this is like, oh God, Heather, you do a lot of things and da 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 da, and I do everything I do in my business, I do because I was inspired to do it and it's fun. I got to that point. So, and I don't do anything that's not fun until it becomes fun to do. Until the idea is like, yeah, this actually does feel fun. And I'll tell you in a minute what some of this is. Okay, so it's as a PDF download. It should be available. It really honestly should be available right now. It should be. I'm just telling you, it should be. So you might have to hunt me down to get the link. I don't know. It's just a PDF, 13-page PDF download. In the back of the download, I start to introduce my academy, which I have not opened the doors in months. I have been so busy this summer revamping that program and doing some other things, some private coaching. I spent the entire summer doing a whole bunch of things. So I kept the doors closed because I just did not want anybody new starting, because I was like in the middle of 15 things. So the doors are open, like, so we're good to go. And I'm excited. Okay, so there's that. Okay, so let's get back to this morning. Oh, well, let me finish my thought of when I said about that energy of like when you look back at a previous thing that didn't work out, right? Of course, that, flopped, if you want to say flopped, or sales that fell through, contracts that fell through. Doesn't matter what the reason was. We can't go back and really dig into all of that because it's just, I think it's kind of a longer way to go. So we're going to leave everything in the past. And we're going to go into the next launch. And I did this. This is when I learned, and this is when things started selling. So I got into the next launch and I became super focused on it succeeding this time. Like it's succeeding now, not this time, but now. And if my thought went to the previous launch or launches, I'm like, no, what do I want now? It's the same thing, pivoting to what you want, focusing on what you want, and not for a second going back and dwelling and whining and crying about the past. We can't do that anymore. We can't. Because if you want the same results you've been getting, then keep focusing on that. So if you want the flopped launches, keep focusing on the flopped launches. That's all it is. So you got to stop. So you got to focus. And this is what I call hardcore mindset of like making your mind do what you want it to do and staying focused, hyper focused on what you want. Okay, so let's get back to this morning. Okay, let's get back to, I've been working all day. It's 4:00 here in Arizona. I've been working since 8. I finally got out of bed this morning at 8, I think, because my husband was rubbing my back and it felt so good. I stayed in bed for another hour. As you open to love, you will experience a more beautiful world around you. So it's law of attraction. So the more you focus on love, the more you open yourself to loving others, loving yourself, loving others, that's law of attraction takes over. And it gives you more loving experiences, more loving people, more things that you love into your experience very quickly. So this morning, while I was laying in bed and I was saying in my mind, like thinking all these things, I love my bed, I love my sheets, I love comfortable beds, and I love cool weather. I love my puppy. I love all these things. It went on for a couple of minutes in my mind. And I have been on fire with ideas today and being super productive and getting things done that I have not gotten done in weeks. It's just one thing after another. Like my mind was firing of so many ideas, and not just in business. Like half of it's in business. Well, maybe 3/4 is business. But the other thing is like now I'm going to build a house in my backyard because we're on 4 acres, but it's 2 separate lots. So it's 2 lots, two 2-acre lots. And so the other 2-acre lot can be built on. So anyway, I had this thought, like all these things kept coming up. And so now I'm gonna build a house in the, in the next door lot. It's like the backyard. And then that thought kept going for hours. Like just something else would pop in my mind and something else would pop, and I was so excited because I love this stuff. And so now I'm like building this whole backyard, this whole 4-acre, really awesome yard from my house to the other. So it's going to be like this casita in my backyard, like a nice place that I could rent on Airbnb as well, and can be part like pool house or guest house. I'm going to say guest house. And we're going to build a pool out there next to the tennis court. The tennis court needs to be redone because it's been out there a long time. And we're going to like clear out a lot of the desert because it's all natural desert. Clear a lot of that out and do great landscaping and a deck and all this stuff and have this whole thing. And it's so amazing. Like I love this idea. And like fence the whole entire property in, and it's just incredible. It just, law of attraction just took over with me today. Like all this stuff that was in my vortex came through me because I had thought about doing a house next door for years. And so, but now I got it as, no, we're going to do this whole, like this entire like compound. You know what I mean? Like this whole cool backyard. It's not going to be just this house next door that we could sell off or anything like that. I want it just to be part of this house so I don't have to deal with neighbors saying, what the heck are you building? Because I ran across some container houses. This amazing Brazilian designer, architect, this woman in Brazil creates the most gorgeous contemporary homes out of containers. Those shipping containers, I just fell in love with it, with the idea of like, wow, that would be so perfect out there because it's a lot easier to build. And so just tons of ideas. So anyway, in my business, before I even got out of bed, I was thinking of this opt-in, this PDF thing that I was talking about, and emails and daily emails and all this stuff. And, it's just been an on fire day because I started my day appreciating. I love my bed. I love my puppy. And just feeling that love. Feeling the love. So it's nothing to do with, okay, so today's going to be a really productive day and it's going to be a great day. That is how I used to start a lot of my mornings. Like today is another great day. There's like no energy in that. I get up, I guess people tell me I get up a little early. I get up between like 6 and 7. And, I'm not the craziest person in the morning. Like I'm not insanely thrilled to be awake. I'm okay. But it really depends on what you think about, like what I think about. And it's so funny. I just clicked on Facebook right before I'm going to click out of it so it doesn't ding on me. I click and let me know if you listen to this podcast. But the very top notification is a woman with the last name Love Energy. Love Energy. You guys, I love this stuff so much. This happens constantly. Let me know if it happens to you all the time. Like all the time. You're just guided all the time. You're guided all the time. Just let loose and be guided. Start your morning before you get out of bed in this loving mood. Just go through the list of all the things that you love. People, things, pets, your house, your car, whatever it is, and just really feel that. Don't think about your day. Don't try doing the pre-paving yet. Don't do the segment intending. Don't do that yet, because that's what I've done for a long time. Do the whole appreciation, the love. I love today. I love today. Today's been an awesome day, and I started with love. And I love, this is September 15th, but I love that the very next topic that I talk about is about love. Sitting here, I'm like, of course today is about love. That is so amazing. So, the universe knows this. My inner being knows what I'm going to be talking about today. So I started the day in love so I can give this amazing example for you. And we're just co-creating. It's just so much fun. Okay, guys. So I think I have rambled on quite enough, and because I want to get to the next one, and then I got some other stuff to do and all that wonderful stuff. So have an amazing rest of your day, and I will talk to you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.